My phone rings, and I see a number I don't recognize. So I decide I should pick this up. So I did. Hello? Hi, is this Damien? Yes, it is. Hi, Damien. I'm calling to confirm that you're going to join us to read your poetry tomorrow night. Oh, yes, of course. You know, I'm really nervous. I've never done an open mic before. This is my first time, and I've been really trying to get outside of my comfort zone. It's been a long time coming. I feel like this is the perfect slow start, you know? An awkward silence. Hello? Yes, Damien, I'm sorry. Did you say this was your first time? I sure did. Okay, well, I'm glad I called because I want to let you know that instead of just a regular open mic, it's now a poetry battle. So our panel will score and judge your poems. And the winner will be invited back to recite at the town-wide fall festival in a few weeks. You still up for it? Still up for it? No way. Sure, count me out. Count me in. Click. I hung up the phone, and a rush of nervousness, excitement, fear, uncertainty just hit me all at once. But I wasn't going to back out now. I've been writing creatively for as long as I can recall, always ignoring this deep nudge from within to share my work. So I figured we'll start with this local event and we'll see how it goes. I invited my wife and my little sister. That's it. And eventually the day comes, and we arrive at this small cafe. And as I walk in, I begin to scan the insides. I'm looking around. I can feel my nerves kicking in already. My senses are on full blast. I can smell the coffee brewing from behind the counter. I can hear the chatter from all the different conversations. And then, through all the noise, I hear a familiar voice. Hey, baby boy, we're back here. What? I look up, and there's my mom. A huge smile on her face. Of course, my little sister would invite our mom, right? Who would rally as many family members as she could. Behind her is my brother and his wife, my other two sisters, my friend, another one, a cousin of mine. Now I'm really feeling the butterflies. So I take a deep breath. I take a seat and I wait my turn. Soon enough, they call me up, and I look to my wife for a final vote of confidence before I step on the stage. One look in her eyes, and there it is. I can feel it. The sheer terror, nervousness, impending embarrassment like she's about to audition for American Idol. Oh, thanks, love. So I hit the stage, I step up to the mic, and my legs are shaky. I'm hoping that my voice isn't. I can feel the hot lights on my face and the cool sweat on my back. Everything was so vivid. So I just start reciting. Midway into my poem, I realize how engaged the audience is. It's like they're riding the rhythm and the waves of my poetry. I can see heads nodding in acknowledgement. Some even have tears in their eyes, deeply resonating with my words. It's like in that moment, I was one with the crowd, and all that self-concern was vanished. I went from feeling like, what am I doing up here, to a visceral knowing that I was right where I was supposed to be. It was that shift from me to we that enabled me to connect with others in a way that I never had before. I was bearing witness to the power of my presence. And this awareness illuminated an inherent sense of self-worth and purpose from within. See, when we shift from a me to we mindset, and we take our focus off of ourselves and put it on others, we get to witness the power of our presence by seeing how it affects others in the world around us. I thought, wow, where had this awareness been my entire life? I got to share this with the world. And today I get to. I'm going to talk to you about how to shift from a me to we mindset so that you too can understand that your presence is powerful, it's purposeful, and it's important. But first, I've got another story to tell you about a different phone call that I received years earlier. A very different phone call. This one came from a childhood mentor and a father figure, letting me know that our relationship was over, and due to circumstances beyond my control, I was essentially disowned, losing friends and a family that I had built up over the last 20 years of my young life. I hung up the phone, feeling heartbroken, angry, confused, and lost. And soon, feelings of unworthiness would infiltrate my mind like a knife reopening this childhood wound that I had held deep inside. It reaffirmed the abandonment and insecurities from growing up without having a father in my life. Can you imagine the inner child grappling with this kind of rejection? I didn't know how much it affected me in the moment, and looking back, that resounding belief was, maybe I just don't deserve this kind of love and guidance. Maybe I'm just not worth it. So what happened next was I went on a healing journey that I didn't even know I needed. And throughout the next decade of my life, a cast of characters would help to change my perspective on the world. A shaman, a few savvy business owners, my wife, and that same inner child who turned out to be the driving force behind my endless search for validation. My relentless pursuit of one goal after the next only masked a deeper need to prove that I was indeed worth it. I dove headfirst into a spiritual journey. All in, It allowed me to re-examine and reframe the beliefs shaped by my childhood and life events. It helped me to open up my heart. It connected me with my soul and the overall abundant connectedness of everything. And it gave me the confidence to share my poetry. Which brings us back to that stage that night in that cafe. I won that competition. Thank you. More importantly, I learned that our self-worth isn't measured by the things that we achieve, by proving anything or by winning the rat race. Because when we're truly present with others, the evidence of our self-worth is irrefutable, demonstrated by the power our presence has to positively affect others and the world around us. It brings to mind one of my favorite quotes from 14th century poet Hafiz, who said, "Even after all this time, the sun never said to the earth, 'You owe me.'" Look what happens with a love like that. It lights up the whole sky. How powerful is that, It makes me think of all the people out there. I often think of the people who are struggling and searching for validation through achievements and accolades, disconnected from themselves, disconnected from life, and trying to prove themselves. Trying to win the rat race. What do you know about the rat race? How we endlessly aspire to acquire and start living at a fast pace, but our souls grow frail. The sweet life begins to lack taste. In God, we lack faith. On God, we test fate, questioning everything. Put your mind back in its place. See, the ego hides in broad daylight where it's half safe. As if we're meant to understand the divinity within God's plans. Just a child, just a woman, just a man. We're just humans, man. Seeking safety and validation because we can't escape this land. We couldn't bear to face abandonment, so we clamor for attention, then abuse it and mishandle it. We're blind to our inherent light. It's like we've got a candle lit, barely seeing past the glow, unaware of how grand this is. We're no rodents. We're the chosen. Please unthaw that heart that's frozen. Feel the love that's coursing through your cells. It's overflowing. You don't know it, so I'm here to help you see it. Now I've shown it. Please don't blow it. There's no finish line, no trophy or no ending prize. Just expansion back into that oneness of which we're comprised. Walking each other home. Kin, I pray that you take your time. Look around and be astounded by the oceans and the mountains and how the sun does rise and sets until the stars they shine, reminding us that here and now is the perfect time. Of service time, your worth it time, the only time is now. I began to notice this me to we mindset was everywhere, intrinsic to nature and life itself. I was essentially pulled down the rabbit hole, consuming information from studies and science and lectures, anything I could get my hands on, all proving and showing evidence of this me to we mindset. It's altruism, generosity, and empathy. See, biological altruism is a built-in primal instinct in so many species, like the vervet monkeys, for example. A vervet monkey will let out an alarm call to let all the other monkeys know of a nearby predator. Even though doing so makes that monkey a prime target, it's like a built-in behavior, unconsciously wired into their biology. It's kind of like a revolutionary response to preserve the species. Also, think about social insects like ants and wasps and bees, who are all primarily sterile workers that will never reproduce, but they live their entire lives dedicated to protecting the queen and protecting the hive. The difference is, as humans, we're consciously aware of our decision to be present and helpful. And although we might act selflessly without intention of personal gain, our biology rewards and supports this behavior through a concept known as the helper's high. Discovered in the 80s while studying acts of selflessness, scientists found that these acts release a flow of neurochemicals in our brain known as feel-good hormones, oxytocin, dopamine, endorphins. And these hormones can also lead to better health and longevity. Then in the 90s, scientists discovered mirror neurons. Now, these little things are crazy, but specific to the me to we mindset, mirror neurons allow us to feel empathy by mirroring the emotional response that we observe in others. So when we're present with others, we get to feel a little bit of that same gratitude and joy as the person we're present with. It shows that we're wired to care about the well-being of others because their emotions trigger our emotions and further encourage this kind of generous behavior. It's amazing. I think about also the study from Harvard, one of the longest running studies. This study was called the Adult Study of Development. One of the longest running studies, having began in 1930s, and it lasted for decades. And it revealed, get this, strong, positive relationships were the number one most significant predictor of a fulfilling life. I mean, that's me to we, baby. Fulfillment, right? Fulfillment, self-worth, and purpose. All byproducts of the meaningful connections that we create when we shift our focus from ourselves to others and to the world around us. I mean, we're just so blessed with this me to we mindset. And I want to share it with you guys today. So do this with me, 3 simple steps. The first step is first we're going to center. So take a deep breath. Bring yourself fully into this present moment. Step 2, we'll shift. Look around, observe, and ask yourself, how is my presence affecting somebody else right now? Am I making them laugh, smile, feel seen or heard, complimented or supported? Step number 3, embrace the connection. Recognize your worth as part of the whole and connect with the awareness that your presence makes a difference. It's as simple as that. Center, shift, connect. All I ask is that you help me share this me to we mindset shift, this powerful tool, so that people stop taking their lives for granted and that we all may know how powerful our presence is. Because I'm sure you agree with me, this life is so precious. Just think about this gift of life and all that you have. Take a moment. Think about all that you have. Or allow me to remind you that you have feet to feel the earth with. You have breath inside your lungs. You have eyes to see you're perfect. What else could you want? You have a tongue to taste the sweetness. You've got ears to hear the beats with. And the music of the earth, you have a mouth and voice to speak with. Don't you realize what you're worth? You have feelings and emotions. You are energy in motion. You're a trillion cells engaging, lovemaking, and creating. What are you debating? You should be filled with elation. Dance now while you're alive. Make this life your vacation. You don't get to live it twice. It's not about the destination. Listen to the sages. They've been saying this for ages. You are what you've been chasing. And our recipe is unknown. If I had to guess at best, I'd say we're a quarter cup of stardust with a heap of divinity, and the rest, I guess, miraculous. I mean, are you kidding me? Need I remind you, you have feet to fill the earth with. You have breath inside your lungs. You've got eyes to see you're perfect. What else could you want? You create and solve your problems from the same imagination. You've got intuition, you've got vision. Tell me, isn't this amazing? We've got chakras moving mana, you've got healing using prana, you've got more than you could know. And knowing that is an honor. Your cup truly runneth over. You exemplify abundance. You are privileged. You are gifted. And inside that little body is a soul that is humongous. There's a song that is uniquely yours. And it's time that you sung it. You don't need to know the words. Just observe. You'll feel it coming. You can sing it for the earth, for your sisters and your brothers, for our fathers and our mothers. We're all waiting to feel what you're vibrating. It's the language of the universe, soul-quenching and hydrating like I'm doing here and now because I grew tired of waiting. The finite nature of this all made me stop procrastinating. This is it. I mean, really, is this it? Are you so lucky to wake up with another day to exist? Another day to soak the sun rays and feel a lover's kiss? Another moment to behold the stars and heed the wisdom of the wind? Another day to look around and be grateful at what surrounds you. Mother Nature holding you with so much love that it could drown you. You're empowered and profound too. I mean, everything about you. Not even if you tried could you spend what you amount to. Divinely designed in time's fabric, you've been tattooed. That's you. But still, we fade away. That's the beauty of this lifetime. We get to play in this together, but we don't stay here forever. Oh, I heard it just gets better. So while I'm here, alive and breathing, blood pumping, heart beating, gleaming with gratitude that I have a few more words to work with, standing in my power, I'm on purpose. What I have to say is urgent. You have feet to feel the earth with. You have breath inside your lungs. You've got eyes to see you're perfect. There is nothing else to want. Peace. Thank you.